European powers, driven by a thirst for wealth and power, embarked on a quest to conquer new lands. This situation led them to the Americas, forever changing the course of history for two continents. The arrival of Europeans in both North and South America was marked by similarities and differences. The conquerors came entirely from European powers such as Spain, Portugal, England, France, and Holland. It had a profound impact on the indigenous populations, who felt a great cultural, social, political, and technological shock. The encounter of such different civilizations resulted in the demographic decline of the natives, due to forced displacement, armed conflicts, and diseases for which they had no natural defenses. However, crucial differences in the timing and methods of colonization would shape the destinies of these two continents in very different ways. While both continents faced European conquest, the nature and timing of these encounters differed significantly. The Spanish conquest of South America occurred in the 16th century, driven by the pursuit of gold and silver. The discovery of vast mineral wealth in the Andes fueled a rapid colonization focused on extraction. In contrast, North America was settled later, primarily by the English and French in the 17th century. The earlier colonization of South America, with its emphasis on resource extraction, had profound consequences. The Spanish crown established a highly centralized system of control, with a rigid social hierarchy that favored European-born Spaniards. Indigenous populations were often forced into labor on plantations and in mines, contributing to a legacy of inequality. Furthermore, the search for a westward passage to Asia delayed European interest in North America. This delay allowed for the development of more established and populous indigenous societies. By the time Europeans arrived in larger numbers, the relationship between colonizers and the colonized took on a different dynamic. The search for religious freedom and economic opportunity motivated many settlers in North America. This led to a more decentralized and self-governing approach to colonization, distinct from the extractive model employed in the South. The divergent approaches to colonization in North and South America resulted in vastly different economic and social structures. In Latin America, the Spanish imposed a mercantilist system, tightly controlling trade and extracting resources for the benefit of the Spanish crown. Large plantations known as haciendas dominated the landscape, relying on forced indigenous labor and producing cash crops like sugar and tobacco for export. This system concentrated wealth in the hands of a small elite and hindered the development of a diversified economy. In contrast, North American colonies developed a more diverse economic base. While agriculture remained important, industries like fishing, shipbuilding, and fur trading flourished. The availability of land and the emphasis on private property encouraged a more egalitarian social structure. These differences in labor systems had a profound impact on social relations and economic development. Crucially, the nature of labor differed significantly. In Latin America, the Spanish and Portuguese imposed a system of miscegenation and religious conversion. For their part in the north, the colonizers never intended the conversion of the existing tribes upon their arrival. In South America, culturally, they based their development in the imposition of peninsular culture on indigenous peoples. On the other hand, in North America, culturally, education and the development of their own identity were promoted, which facilitated independence and sustained economic growth. Politically, strict state control developed was what prospered in South America. The Spanish crown had direct control over its colonies, regulating trade and administration through viceroyalties. Its social structure was deeply hierarchical. A rigid caste-based system was imposed, with the peninsulars at the top and the indigenous people and African slaves at the bottom. In contrast, in North America, many British colonies had some degree of autonomy, which facilitated the creation of democratic institutions. The social model included less indigenous exploitation. Although there were conflicts with the native peoples, the British model did not depend on indigenous forced labor as it did in the Spanish system. Another important aspect was what most of the colonizers from the Iberian Peninsula came with the intention of obtaining their fortune and then returning to their homeland. They usually arrived without their wives, so they interacted to a greater extent with native women. In North America, however, settlers in North America arrived with the intention of staying permanently, so they focused on building organized settlements with long-term sustainability. Most of them arrived with their own families, which allowed them to preserve their traditions and lifestyle, reducing the chances of intercultural mixing. These factors influenced the subsequent development of the new continent. North America evolved towards a more industrialized economy, and Latin America faced challenges due to the lower cohesion between its structures. The legacy of colonialism in South America shaped social relations, land ownership patterns, and access to education, creating enduring challenges for many countries in the region. In contrast, North America's more diverse economy, decentralized political structures, and emphasis on individual initiative laid the groundwork for industrialization and sustained economic growth, left deep strength on North American society. The legacies of conquest and colonization continue to shape the Americas today. Understanding these historical processes is essential for comprehending the social, economic, and political landscapes of these two subcontinents. The Historia Tube channel thanks them for watching this video.